there's a script, but it's also unscripted. Today's episode is based on faith, addiction, business, and also uni life. Uni life. Why do you think university is important? Why do you think the viewer should go for university even in a time where it's so uncertain that you'd get a job?
There's a lot of times where we start something but we never finish it.
Yep.
And uni is one thing that once you start and finish, it gives you that sense of accomplishment that I can do something and finish it. I can see something through. One thing that is, you're mentioning a very key and valid point. What tends to happen is once you finish, you expect to be spoon-fed. Then you just sit and wait magically for a notification to say, hey, my guy, come forward. But that's not how life works.
Good, I'm not saying don't have faith. I'm not saying don't have faith. I'm just saying be realistic. That's where for me addiction began, bro. Like flip. If you told me to describe what addiction is, I'd call addiction a dependency on something that's killing you, but you think that it's making you feel good.
Yeah.
But what?
So, what is fun to you?
Man, Einstein says creativity is intelligence having fun. When I'm in my element and I'm creating stuff, I'm having fun.
Okay, so what inspires you?
I get it all from my father. He created monkeys and birds that talk. He created a living book too. I love telling stories and making people laugh. Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. Welcome to 7 Degrees, man. That is such an odd name, actually, for a podcast. I don't know if it's a selfish thing on my end because I know what it means. I came up with a cryptic name, but I think it sounds cool. 7 Degrees. It sounds like something hot. It sounds like something...
Depending on your, what's it called?
Perspective.
It could be hot or it could be cold.
Feel me?
I mean,
it's hot and cold. It's hot and cold. But yes,
it's
my
cold,
name, as you can tell already, I'm not alone. I'm not alone on this episode. I think from the introductory episode, like I did explain, I'm not going to be alone on this podcast for the sole reason that I don't want to be selfish with this platform. This is a platform for creative people. This is a platform for people who are saying, I want to involve God in my life. This is a platform for people who want healing, spiritual healing, who want a holistic healing of life. And as you can see from the title, I'm not necessarily sure what the title is going to be from
it's going to be heavy though.
Yes. But yes, welcome to season 1, episode 1 of 7 Degrees. Season 1 is about taking a leap of faith. I don't know if you figured that out from
the little backdrop.
But yes, please introduce yourself, my guy.
Hello everyone, my name is Kamo Baipuledi and soon to be co-host of The Degrees. Yes. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Man, I think I already gave an introduction of myself in the episode before this one.
I was not there.
Hey, you were not there, but if I was just
a miniature version, so I know what the template I should use for.
It's not really a template, but
it will be a template, my guy.
Okay, sharp. Template. In the last episode, I introduced myself as a creative business guy who believes in God, who's recovering, or who's a healing addict. I expressed myself as a guy who, man.
You are healed, bro.
Yes, I'm just trying to like put it out there for you, how you can introduce yourself. And funny thing is, these episodes are months apart. Like before we started shooting, I did tell you the first episode was shot in March, and then after that I was like, nah, man, there's still so much more that needs to come into this. And right now I'm at peace. I'm at peace, bro. Like
Everything's going good.
Everything is going how it's supposed to go. I don't want to say everything is going how it's supposed to go. You know, so yeah, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes. Just a quick background. I'm a student. I'm an architecture final year student at the University of Botswana. But at the same time, that's just the tip of the iceberg as to what I do or what I intend to do with my life. And also, I'm a born and bred Adventist. So that's a very key factor in my life. And I'm at a point where I'm now venturing into the business side of me, which has been something that's been in me for a long time, probably since I was a kid. So we'll get into that later on. But yes, right now I'm at a point where I'm venturing into a few businesses or 7 degrees. But
Bro, your episode is coming.
That episode is coming.
Right now
So
we're just talking. We're talking. Bro, your episode is coming.
I'll talk about those.
Yes,
the
all those nitty-gritties
story for
there.
another day.
Yeah, story for another day.
But basically, that's just it. Student venturing into business.
Yeah. Total Ibile, I don't know where we should start. There's a script, but it's also unscripted. Today's episode is based on 4 main pillars, being faith, being addiction, being business, and also uni.
Uni life.
You know, uni life. I think just so we connect it from the start, where we actually are. Let's start it with uni life, man.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, that one is tough, eh?
Talk about your uni life, dog. What is university to you? Like, I wanna put this out there right now. Look at how the West is saying, nah, screw uni. Let's go. Let's run a business. Let's go make money. You don't need uni if you want to make money, you know.
Yeah.
But we are in a part of the world that says, hey, uni, bro. And actually where uni opens doors for you.
Exactly.
You know. So please talk to us about university. Why do you think university is important? Why do you think the viewer should go for university even in a time where it's so uncertain that you'd get a job?
For me, I think universities is not necessarily just a place to learn a particular course or a particular field of study. That's just on the surface meaning of what university is to me. I think it's a very key factor that we can't really neglect and say, no, I might just go jump into business. Sure, maybe it has worked for some, but at the same time, I feel like it teaches you very important skills that by the time you do venture into business or whatever, you know how to take care of yourself better. For instance, let me say, there's a lot of times where we start something but we never finish it.
Yep.
And uni is one thing that once you start and finish, it gives you that sense of accomplishment that I can do something and finish it. I can see something through. That's point number one. And number two is, I'd say, other than just teaching me, for instance, since I'm an architecture student, teaching me about what to do in architecture, it teaches me how we go to school for one reason, basically, to learn how to think and how to find stuff. Yeah. That's pretty much what uni life does to you.
Actually, I like that last point you raised, that we go to uni to learn how to think. Kind of often we think that thinking comes naturally. It actually doesn't, bro. Like, thinking comes from so many different things. Thinking comes from reading stuff online.
Exactly.
Thinking comes from hearing something. And thinking is a perspective that you get from somewhere. And generally for me, one thing I appreciate about uni is that it teaches you how to be independent. Uni teaches you how to follow a deadline. You know, uni teaches you how to be consistent. You know, for me though, this is only a new perspective that I just learned. Or, hey, bro, I don't know everything. You know, I don't know everything. It's like, sleep. Even as I'm sitting here, funny thing is, bro, preparation for this, I was so, I was nervous, bro. I was like, bruh, I didn't read anything. I didn't research on anything. I'm just coming here to sit and talk, going in dry, you know. But one thing that I've learned about this is that preparation is your entire life. Like from the time I was brought up until now, I've been getting prepared for this very same moment, you know. But without diverting, like he said, uni teaches you how to think. Like really, bro, like man, I go to BAC and wow, what an amazing university. Like, bro, like, oh my goodness. Like, I can't even lie, dog. Like, I'd be doing BAC an injustice if I sat here and said that, no, that place is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hey, bro, we learned so many things. Just today, we were learning about e-commerce.
Yeah.
Imagine, bro.
Such a broad topic.
Like, huh?
Such a broad topic.
Such a broad topic, but like, it's like they are planting seeds of intelligence and creativity in us.
Yeah.
You know, that I genuinely appreciate. But for me, I would say uni teaches you how to network.
Exactly. That too.
You know,
definitely.
Uni teaches you how to network. Which is a core skill in business that you'll never learn out. That you can. You can learn it, yes.
Yeah, but
when it's being given to you on a silver
why
platter,
not take it?
why not take it?
Exactly.
You see, but yeah, man. Like, if right now you're in a place in your life where either you're considering going to uni, either you are in uni and you're considering quitting uni, either you're in uni and you're seeing darkness. Hey, man, I just want to say, keep going, keep at it.
Nah, for sure.
Like, keep at it, bro. And Kifilawari, right now, we're in an information world. Information is everywhere, bro.
Just the click of a button and you're there.
Actually, I'm hoping we're not getting into your own episode, but what would you tell somebody who's actually going to uni?
For me, I feel like that question is somewhat biased in the sense that I'd like to know into what field first. Because that somewhat determines my response.
No, just in general.
But generally, uni, I feel like it's a very necessary step. If you can, by all means do it. Not to say that if you don't go to uni, all is lost. Nah, that's not what I'm saying. You can be very successful without going to uni. There's people there's people that have done it, but from where we're sitting and where we are in the terms of geographical location, things are a little bit different this side. So we kind of need you need to open a few doors here and there for you. So by all means, if you have the opportunity, take it. If you miss out, there's still an opportunity of going back and rewriting some things and going forward.
Actually, something like that I've been, I don't want to say I've been opening my mind up to, but you know, there's those people who don't make it into uni in terms of like cutoff points and they can't get into the government sponsorship. I've been warming up to this idea about it. Man, there's so many places that you can go to where you learn soft skills, dog. Like the brigade.
And those are so looked down upon.
They are, bro. Like learning a skill, same like for example, bricklaying, dog. You see me like that.
Right now I did a bricklaying for a week in Austria, and I have a different appreciation for bricklayers. That thing is
cool,
tough, man.
What?
But with earth bricks and twice as heavy and maybe a lot more brittle.
Oh no, from us there.
Pretty much, my guy. Nigga from my detainer and then made a wall and a whole dome.
Hey, the real home hope is not going to we are strong. This one time I was at the kettle post, dog. I built a crawl. Like I built a crawl with my brother and the head guy, you know, and it was so dope, dog. Like just seeing myself making something from nothing. Literally just asking myself, okay, so how are we going to make this crawl? So what we did was we dug a hole, man. Then we put bricks into the hole. Then we put bricks. Then we took the logs. Then we put the logs into the spaces that the bricks. And then we poured soil back inside. You feel me? You feel me?
Made a small enough foundation.
Yeah, we made a foundation of some sort. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is, bro, soft skills, man. Like this.
Yeah, you can go so far with those.
It's not just Forex.
Is Forex a soft skill?
I'm looking at you.
Yeah?
No, so Forex, you know what the thing is? I appreciate Forex. You know, I appreciate Forex for what it does for people. Forex opens people's minds. It changes a lot of people's lives, changes a lot of people's views of life. It helps a lot of people out. You know, But like I feel like right now, that's what people want to push as our main
As a main source.
as a main source.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We can't all be Forex guys.
No, for sure.
And not all of us will be good at Forex.
For sure.
You know?
Some of us are going to be giving the Thobos money.
Some of us are putting money into the market for the guy who's been studying it for long enough
Yeah.
to take it out of our
Wow.
hands. But yes, without saying too much controversy, the main point here was that if you don't make it to uni, find a soft skill. There's many skills to learn online.
Some you don't have to learn. Some you actually have it. You just never really looked at it in that way.
Oh. Like what?
Think about it. Most of us, like myself and a few classmates of mine are, or maybe all of my classmates, were basically creative in the art sense in terms of drawing and painting and all those fine arts. That's something that for some of us comes natural. You just start picking up a pencil and start drawing and just build a skill over time. Yes, you can learn it as time goes on, but for some of us, we just started it from an early age. So you might do it as a subject course school just to get a grade and move on, and not necessarily look at it as a business opportunity. But if you stand back and look at it in that way, I know some guys that are making some big money
Off of drawing.
off of drawings, just
That's
drawings, and the quality is really good.
You know what I actually wanted to say as a point? So here's how I view it. Now let's go back to uni, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you do go to uni, you don't get employed.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely, like from what I've learned, schooling in BAC, like every single module that they teach us is equipping you with a soft skill that you can really take out and push into the world, that you can really refine and sell. You know, like there's just too much that you can do, bro.
You know, it's so controversial. Something might be a controversial thing. Don't hate me for saying this, but personally, I know I haven't finished my school and gotten into the workforce and felt that unemployment pain and everything. But I somewhat don't really understand the whole. I go to school and study maybe entrepreneurship as an example, and I get out of school and I say I don't have employment.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
For me, it doesn't make sense. Maybe since I haven't experienced it, I am a little biased or uninformed from my perspective. But at the same time, it does not really make sense when I think about it.
I think this is a moment of transition, actually.
Yeah.
For me, the way I see it, it's about faith. Like, kind of faith is thinking about hoping to attain something while you're in the present time. You know, hoping that, for example, this episode will reach people. Hoping that, as I start this business, it will actually succeed.
Yeah.
I think one thing that really stops people from trying things out is uncertainty. Like, honestly, I do understand it, bro. Like, you go to uni, you've been getting 1.9 right now from a DTEF for as many months as you've been getting it. You know, now you stop getting it. Rasta, try life out.
Now try life.
You don't have a job.
Yeah.
You know, like literally just there.
Starting from ground zero.
From ground zero, bro. So for me, I genuinely get it, bro. It's a thing about faith. You know, so I want to direct the conversation this way. To you, what does faith mean, and how do you think we can apply faith to such things? And actually, don't be afraid to ask me questions, dog.
I just asked you a question now. I want to make it make sense, my guy.
I did answer a question. I get it.
Exactly. So what do you mean?
I'm just in flow state, dog.
So the point of faith in what?
Faith in terms of leaping into entrepreneurship, and also faith in faith is everything, dog.
Right.
But faith in terms of uni, I think we're transitioning from uni into faith, but we're saying how do we apply faith to being a university student? Because like you say, we can't really talk about life after university because we don't really know it. But for me, I think we can. I've experienced it through my brother. You know, and all I can say is it's tough.
Yeah, nah, same here.
It's tough,
I know
dog.
that.
Yo,
For sure.
it's tough. It's tough, dog. But ish, now I'm going into your question. Now, one thing I've seen, bro, like you have to find something to do.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Idle minds are the devil's playground.
it definitely
Idle
is.
minds or idle hands, one of them.
You have to find something to do. And now that's one thing I've seen through my brother. Not that I'm bragging or anything, but he didn't just sit down when he finished uni. He's been trying, dog. Like from selling plants, from selling cordiale rods. Right now he's teaching English online. Like, bro, just those little things.
Exactly.
For me, it says faith, dog. Who says trying something out will guarantee you a form of success? You know,
Because that's one thing that is, you're mentioning a very key and valid point. What tends to happen is once you finish, you expect to be spoon-fed. Then you just sit and wait for a notification to say, hey, my guy, come for work. But that's not how life works. Because there's this, the numerous case studies or examples of people that finished school and it starts and all those. But
keep going.
but at some point they had that one breakthrough that got them to the point where they initially wanted to be. So it's not all nice and everything. You have to get your hands dirty. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty in something. All you have to do is just start and try something out.
Yes. This is weird. Have you ever seen somebody reading a Bible on a podcast? I have.
There's one
At the game, this podcast, the basement.
Yeah.
You watched the basement?
Nah, you send me a link.
Oh yeah, but yeah. Correct. It's just that when you were speaking, dog,
Yeah.
there's some scripture that came to my mind. Then keep sorry, is it in Ecclesiastes 3? It definitely is. I'm gonna read from Ecclesiastes 3, verse 9 to 14 or 9 to 17. It says, "What do people really get for all their hard work? I've seen the burden God has placed on us all. Yet, God has made everything beautiful for its own time. He has planned eternity in the human heart. But even so, people cannot see the whole scope of God's work from beginning to end. So I concluded there is nothing better than to be happy and enjoy ourselves as long as we can. And people should eat and drink and enjoy the fruits of their labor. And the gifts, for these gifts are from God. And I know that whatever God does is final. Nothing can be added to it or taken from it. God's purpose is that people should fear Him. What is happening now has happened before, and what will happen in the future has happened before."
Nothing new under the sun, my guy.
Because God makes the same things happen over and over again. I noticed that under the sun, there is evil in the courtroom. Yes, even the courts of law are corrupt. I say to myself, in due season, God will judge everyone, both good and bad, for their deeds.
Yeah, nah, that's heavy.
It is. It is, man. Actually, the scripture before it is verse 1 to 6 again. And it's talking about like how there's a time for everything. But generally, without dwelling too much on the text and without taking away from what we're talking about, what I saw in the scripture is that, first of all, there's an authority that's determining everything that's happening around us. You know, and that happens to be God. You know, and
Happens to be oil.
it is God. It is God. My bad. I didn't say it right, but it is God.
Yeah, for sure.
God is literally determining everything that we're doing. You know, and from is it verse 7? No, verse 9. My fault. What do people really get for all their hard work? I have seen the burden God has placed on us all. Because it's insinuating, really, that nobody is guaranteed a win. You know, it's insinuating to us that we all have a burden to carry.
For sure.
You know. So, I've lost my train. But yeah, man, like I think, like I was saying, bro, like at every point, really, like when I was thinking about the today's episode, it's about not quitting at any point. You know,
That's a tendency that we have. We tend to do time and time again. We start something, we quit midway because we see maybe it's not going the way we expected, or just a little hiccup in the way, and then we deter. Because I'll give an example. There was a time I did French thinking. I think that was a more standard one or something. I did French to the point where I'd watch cartoons in French. Yeah, that's how top I was at the time. Not at the time. The school was playing cartoons in French, and I could somewhat understand. So that means I was making some progress. But I quit for some reason. I don't know how or when I quit, but I stopped it. Now I just know the greeting and a couple sentences, phrases here and there. That goes to show.
why don't you continue doing French?
I don't know, Mike. That's a question I don't have an answer to right now.
For me, it's this. I don't know if I can say it's the same thing, but somewhat similar. I also learned French, but it's just that for me, I've had to learn Chinese, and then from learning Chinese,
from language to language.
I've been jumping from language to language.
That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. We keep trying to do everything and not seeing things through. We start something, we're like, nah, this is not reaping any benefits. We jump immediately to the next one. We try this one out. You see it's not reaping any benefits at that time. Not that it won't, but at that time it's not reaping any benefits. You immediately migrate to the next one. And it's just a cycle that keeps going. And then at the end of it, you just wonder, why am I still in the same situation, but I've been doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? It's because we're not seeing something through.
I mean, but think about it though. There's this word called, how many letters is it? 4-letter word called fail. There's failure, and I think let's not be biased and say that when things don't go through, it's because they're not seeing them through.
I'm not saying
we
every
do.
time.
I'm just yes. No, we're generally speaking again.
Yeah.
I'm saying what? Let's talk about failure, dog. Failure is honestly something that for me has been. Hey man, failure has been dictating my life, bro. Like in a negative way. Like, oh my goodness, bro. If I was to touch a bit on my journey, which part of my journey?
The one where you failed.
No. I think university. Let me start with university. I'm gonna talk about university. Then I'm also gonna talk about business. University, oh man, I'm literally on my second lap of uni, bro. Like, I went to university in Russia from 2019 to 2022. But 2021, 2022, I was here, And, bro, the moment we got there was tough, Like, it was really tough to even adapt to the environment, I don't really want to focus on that. But from the point at which I left Russia, because mentally I was not in a good place, up until the point where I came here and I told my mom, yo man, it's tough. It's not working out. It's time for me I think I want to leave and I'm going to try something else out again. At that time, I thought to myself, hey, it's going to work out. Then I started doing year one. Then reality hits me, dog. I'm 21 years old. I'm in class with 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 19-year-olds. And I feel like, oh my goodness. I feel like I'm a growth. Like, so bad that, man. I think at that time, now talk about it. But so much that, man, there's a time that I had an interaction with a lecturer of mine. And she's telling me, what a dog. You have to realize, bruh, you are old. I'm like, I had failed the module. I'll get into the reason why I failed. I had failed the module, man, and she's telling me, what, bruh, you have to get yourself up, my guy. Because these people are younger than you.
Yeah.
Man, at that time, totally, hey, speaking of my journey when I was leaving, when I left schooling in Russia, or when I stopped schooling in Russia, one thing that really used to beat me up, man, I'd have these conversations with my mom, hey, dog, I really feel like I should have continued. Or
That tends to happen.
like, I feel like I should have continued. Or I'd even
start doubting the decision you made now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I even started having these dreams, dog, where like I'd be in an airplane, like I'd be in Russia. The setting of my dream, I'd be in Russia, then I'd be in an airplane, and the airplane is coming to port, but the airplane never makes it to port. You feel
Like
me?
it just vanishes or it crashes.
I wake up, or the airplane never just makes it here.
Yeah.
You know, and man, that fear of being a failure. God, I felt like a failure, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
I know that feeling.
I felt like a failure for so long, dog. For my first semester of uni at BAC, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible, dog. And I think also I had a really bad attitude. Because I was like, I was learning in Russia and now I'm learning in English. So that means things are going to be easier for me.
Yeah. Then
You
just relax, just
I just relaxed.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm trying to say is that right now, honestly, I'm in a good place, dog. After failing that module, I told myself,
never
this can't happen again.
Never
I want to attend the failure. I didn't tell myself, flip, here we go again, failure guy. What I'm trying to say
didn't dwell
is,
in that
I didn't
state.
deal in the you get to a point in failure where you have to realize, nah, dog, I have to get up now.
Because there's some quote that I saw somewhere that says you can never really taste true success without failure. Hey. No, it has to sit for a little bit. Let it marinate. Yeah.
See that?
Yeah. You can never taste true failure without no. You can never taste true success without failure. Because as you're speaking or sharing about your experience on failure, I remember, the time before you left for Russia, you had a conversation and you told me that I should also apply for the same scholarship.
I don't remember actually.
Yeah.
What?
But there was a
That's
time.
crazy.
But there was a time we had that conversation and you're like, hey, I know you are smart, but you can also apply for this thing. Then you can buy for to Russia. I was like, hey. At that time, I was going through some deep pit like that. Because yes, I had passed my Form 5 years on regular eyes, but to me, it felt like a very, very, very terrible fail because it was a grade that I wasn't used to getting. Because I was used to not necessarily acing, but a good enough, like average of my 45 type of thing. And then all of a sudden, I get a point, some points that I never got in my schooling.
In the schooling career,
years.
yeah.
I was like, this doesn't make sense. So I went on a whole spiral that was very hard and difficult to maneuver. But now after going through it, I started my first year and I told myself, we're not doing that again. And since my first day, I haven't had a sap or retake, no nothing. Then just flying, just cruising by there.
It doesn't that just remind you of the devotion we were reading?
Yeah.
About going through trials.
No, for sure. And honestly, looking back at it, I feel like it was because I was telling myself before the results came out and while I was doing my Form 5, I was pushing, trying to make sure what I get.
Trying your best.
Telling myself, no, I'm going to get my 6A stars, top achievers, what, go abroad, go study, chill, have a nice time, do the most, do whatever I want. There won't be anyone to tell me nothing again. That was the whole mindset there.
It was for you to be free.
Yeah. I might just go out, no curfew. If I want to do this, I'll do it. Who's going to see what?
Yeah.
Type of thing. And looking back at it, I was like, nah, bro. If I had actually left the country at that point, I don't think I would have been in the mental state I'm in now. would have went the complete opposite. And I feel like it was, and funny enough, the same grades I got were the exact same grades I got for my Form 3.
What?
Telling me. Same
Crazy.
points, same item, same layout of grades.
crazy, bruh. You know what? I always listen to people saying they want to leave the country. Wabon. And for me, honestly, bro, leaving the country is not a joke.
For sure.
Like, bro, like people have this romanticized picture of what the world outside is.
But until you leave, that's when you see, this is not what I expected.
Exactly. Could people think that leaving the country, I'm going to live a glamorous life, I'm going to live a life here and what? Hey, people say no, hey, screw bots, middle finger bots, bots this, bots that. And I can tell you firsthand, my guy, leaving the country is literally a make or break situation.
For sure.
To be honest, like it's about perspectives. Like, my guy, I left the country. For me, my perspective was, when I get there, I'm going to be the best version of me. I'm going to chase God. I'm going to stick to God because, hey, God blessed me. Again, God blessed me. He's the one who
gave me the opportunity.
He gave me the opportunity to do. So, you know what? I'm going to bless him. Like, so much that even before I left, I was fasting for them. Hey, late dark. Just the experience, I think I have PTSD. It's probably oozing into the camera.
Yeah, I feel like there's that one when they to watch it late days to get stressed.
No, correct.
But yeah, no.
But that's for me. I just want to say the whole point of this podcast, honestly, is to help somebody. Is to help somebody have a perspective at life that's not romanticized. That's not. Good. I'm not saying don't have faith. I'm not saying don't have faith. I'm just saying be realistic, dog. Yeah. Because like I'm saying, bro, you go to a different country, culture shock,
language
barrier, and actually, for me, that's where addiction for me began. That's where for me addiction began, bro. Like, flip. If you told me to describe what addiction is, I'd call addiction a dependency on something that's killing you, but you think that it's making you feel good.
Yeah.
Babon.
Just because it feels good, it negates the feeling that it kills you. Or
Exactly.
That it's killing you.
I'd say addiction is replacing or trying to fill a void that can only be filled by the creator.
Yeah.
You know, for me, man, hey, addiction, I've seen what it did to my family, bro. Like, it's not just, it doesn't just affect you.
Yeah,
it
impacts everyone around you.
Exactly. It impacts everybody around you, bro. Like, so much that, my guy, when I started my journey of sobriety, so many people were happy for me. And it was that hindsight that taught me, hey, my guy, you actually haven't been living the right life.
Yeah.
You know, addiction made me meet, hey, I've been saying that word a lot, but it's for emphasis. Addiction made me meet people I was not supposed to meet outside the country. Addiction made me do things I was not supposed to do. That if I was to say here on camera right now, my guy,
your whole image.
My whole image is, because it's being tarnished.
Yeah.
You know, ruined relationships, bro. You know what? Actually, let's unpack that.
Yeah. Start cooking, my guy.
I think if I was to go back and say this is the point where I started becoming an addict, was 2020 when COVID hit.
Yeah.
When COVID hit, and you know what's funny? Addiction starts off as I'm just having fun. So we get drunk, you know? That's how it starts. We just having fun. We don't care who sees.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts, bro.
1, 2, 1, 2, you're like, you start saying, well, can I can quit if I want to?
Hey.
But
so
not to
that's how it started for me, bro.
Yeah.
Started here in Bottle. I was having my fun later, and then at this point, my mom doesn't know the life I'm living. My mom doesn't know this guy, when he says he's going out to meet his friend, this is what he's going to do.
Yeah. It's always a half truth.
It's always a half truth. Can't I don't know that I'm planting seeds of,
something that you-
poison, bro.
Yeah.
Poison. It's disgusting, actually, this lifestyle, bro. Because, Kuri, I started living it. I'm having fun. And then it got to a point where I started depending on it.
Yeah.
Now, my boy. Like, I didn't say what I was addicted to. Can I scare people? Cigarettes, alcohol, marijuana. That is the what I was addicted to, So yeah, bro. And imagine as a Seventh-day Adventist, or let me not say it, as a Christian, because I know there's other Christians who watch this. Imagine as a Christian, I'm the ringleader of, hey, gents, let's go and party.
Okay.
I'm the ringleader of,
The one
hey,
who's always saying God, all of a sudden is now saying, hey, let's go drink, let's go.
hey, my nigga. And you know what's so crazy? I remember in high school, bro. I remember in high school, there's one of my boys, he asked me, he's like, dog, you're always talking about God, but you're the meanest person I know. You're the person who's always saying, let's make a vibe. You're the person who's always doing 1, 2, 3, and 4. And later, that thing has stuck with me forever.
And
It has stuck, because it's so much that, bro, even today, there's a time I was in China in 2017.
Iwatora.
No, it's not like that. There's a time I was in China, bro, and we were having fun.
Yeah.
Fun. We were having fun in coats. And bro, for some reason, I've always had a conviction, bro, like very strong conviction that what you're doing is wrong.
No, that's always there. There's always, also considering our upbringing, considering our upbringing, which is, I believe, is somewhat similar, considering our faith and everything.
Yeah.
We are taught certain principles growing up that have, even though we might negate or try to ignore as we grow up, they're always going to be ringing at the back of your mind. You're going to, or also read that bottle of water, but this thing ain't right. And then you turn around that thought with more of this. That's what tends to happen. But it's not a thing of it's never been there or you didn't know this thing. You've always known that it was wrong, but you did it anyway. Yeah, you just wanted to slide that across.
No, that's something to think about, actually. But going back to the story,
of China.
I don't want to dismantle what you just said. That was powerful. It's always there.
It's always there.
We'll touch on it extensively. But yeah, so, man, I remember this one guy, bro, from Brazil. That guy, my guy, like, we were there doing what we were doing, and he looks at me, he's like, why are you doing this? Yeah? But we're doing it together.
Yeah.
And looking back, I'm like, bro, the number of people I've influenced to do the wrong thing it's sad, bro. It's really sad. Like, it's the reason why I'm the person that I am today. I try my best to preach the word of God. I try my best to tell people, hey, my guy, that's not worth it. At every point that I can, I share my story,
For sure.
It's so that
To try and make up for.
it's to try and make up for that past life. Because hey, man. Whew.
And it's tough.
I think my inability to express the type of pain that I feel in my heart
Anyways.
really makes the point that I'm trying to push. It's not worth it. That lifestyle is not worth it.
Nah, for sure.
It really isn't worth it, But yeah, going back to Russia, the key things that I've learned from my journey in and out of addiction is that, first of all, addiction lies to you and tells you that you're not an addict.
That's why I'm saying you end up saying stuff that I can quit today.
But if I want, I
can quit. It's nothing. Then you say quit. And they're like, nah, not now.
Isn't it funny how everybody that you actually know wants to quit? One friend of mine told me, like, when I was on my journey to quit smoking cigarettes, he told me, he's like, that people who smoke envy people who don't smoke. People who smoke want to be like
think it's cool to smoke and then they try to go in that route and then end up here.
No. Like
okay.
you're already at the point where you're now an addict.
Yeah.
People who smoke envy people who don't smoke because it's so hard, bro. Like, Mona, I was watching some video that was talking about the scale at which things give you dopamine. It was talking about pornography. It was talking about
Media, I think.
media, and like nicotine was up there. Wabon.
Yeah.
Up there with pornography.
Yeah.
Wabon. And Kuri, dependency on cigarettes, dog, it's
diff.
it's deep. Kuri, hey, Ibile, just to talk more a little extensively how it affects other people. Monko what thing hell.
Yeah,
my
nah,
guy.
it's
Wabon.
not nice.
It's not nice. It's not nice to be sitting with somebody who what they smell like gaff.
Yeah.
It's not nice to sit around somebody who every second they need to be smoking something.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like it's also not a nice feeling as the person doing it, or every 2 hours I need to go get a quay or something.
Exactly.
Because it's something I've witnessed
exactly.
a lot with some people that I've been interacting with, that it gets to a point where there's now times where you have to, or things just go south. You just have to go get
Go
a
and
smoke
smoke.
or something.
You know how bad it was for me, dog. Like I used to. It was so bad that before I slept, I'd hit one, like a blunt or a cigarette.
Yeah.
The moment I wake up, I'm already craving it.
Yeah. You know what? Funny enough, on that point, I was talking with a friend of mine a few weeks ago, and he was saying that he's also stopped, but was battling with addiction and all. He was saying that it got to a point where he'd go to bed and wake up. You know how people just wake up and get coffee and whatnot, that type of morning routine. And he'd have to get out of bed, he'd have to smoke first.
What?
And then that's when he'd now feel like himself and then get
He'd
out
smoke
of bed.
in his room.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
in
that's
bed.
crazy.
Before he gets out of bed, not gets out of bed, goes to the window. No. Before he gets out of bed, he has to get a little bit. Then after that, then he can go about his day, then go get the breakfast version of it now.
Damn.
But it was to that point I was like, nah, this is too much. Then he got to that point where he's saying, no, I need to do something. This is not it.
I mean, I think let's not bash it too much. You know, now what I've learned about addiction is that, like I said at first, you are trying to replace something.
Yeah.
It ends up becoming a coping mechanism. You depend on it. You know, I'm just saying that to say I feel empathy for anybody, bro. I feel empathy for anybody who's addicted to something. It's not nice to depend on something that you actually hate in your heart.
That you know deep down that this
that you know deep down
this-
that this
this
is
is
not
killing
good. This is killing me. You know, it's not nice. You know, I always this idea, not idea. You know how I think of a person, of a human being?
Yeah.
I think of a human being as a two part in two parts. As a person with meat, bones,
The
kneecap,
physical being.
shoes, clothes. I think of a human being as flesh, and I think of a
flesh
human
and
being
blood.
as soul.
Yeah.
You know, I think I want to use the word soul.
Yeah.
We Christians say spirit, but as soul, you know. And once you start to realize that addiction impacts your soul, is the turnaround for you. You know,
It starts good. It impacts both parts.
Yes, it impacts
It's
you.
not only the physical aspect that's being impacted. It's you as a human being. Because I was discussing this with a couple of friends a few days ago about the makeup of a human being, or what is a human being. Because you know from the story of creation that you have the physical aspect of the human being, and then God breathed the breath of life, which was the spirit aspect of the human being. Once you, and I gave an analogy that I took from from someone at church, that let's say we are building a box. We have planks, we have nails. You put the box together. And then if you take this box apart, what do we have?
We're building a box.
We build a box again with the planks and nails. Then if you take the box apart, taking out the nails and the box, what do we have? At the end, the planks, what do we have?
Wait, say that again. I feel dumbfooled right now. Say that again.
You have planks and nails. The aim is to combine them to build a box.
You have planks, you have nails.
Yes.
Those two help.
Those two.
Okay.
Just two.
Okay.
Maplanka and nails. Enough to make a box.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how many you need, but enough to make a box. And
Okay.
when you make the box, you have a box again. And then you take apart, you take the planks,
You
you put them
dismantle
here.
the box.
Yes, you take the planks, you put them here, the nails, you put them here. What do you have?
Oh, flip. Bruh, you have nails and planks.
You
And the
don't
box
have a
is,
box.
there's no more box.
There's no more box.
Oh, flip.
Exactly.
You know,
That's-
as you're saying that, you know what I was thinking of? In my head, I'm like, but you have to hammer this box together. You feel me? And for me, the hammer is, the hammer is gone. Or the person who's hammering is gone.
Yeah.
But you're good. Like, hey, that's a way. That's
Don't factor in the hammer at this point.
Yeah.
Hell, just not to make the equation
Yeah,
complicated. But when you take them apart, you don't have a box anymore. Now take that same aspect or analogy to put it to human life. You have body, you have spirit. You put them together, you have human being. You take them apart, you have nothing.
Facts, bro.
So-
Ibili, I'm not going to say too much. Let me read. Galatians 5 verses 16 to... Let me not read too much. 16 and 17. I'm reading from the New Living Translation Bible. So I say, let the Holy Spirit guide your lives. Then you won't be doing what your sinful nature craves. The sinful nature wants to do evil, which is just the opposite of what the Spirit wants. And the Spirit, and the Spirit gives us desires that are the opposite of what the sinful nature desires. These two forces are constantly fighting each other. So you are not free to carry out your good intentions. You know what? I don't know if it's yesterday or the day or whenever. I was watching a video and it was an atheist debating with a Christian, you know, like a Christian professor and an atheist student, you know. And the student is arguing to say that, I forgot the term he used, but he was saying that in us, in human beings, it's naturally engraved in us to have good morals. You know?
Okay.
He's saying that it's natural for us to have good morals. But he also at the same time, he's saying there's no God. And the professor's asking him, okay, sure. So then why are you saying that we should do good things?
Yeah.
What says that I should be kind to people?
Yeah.
What says
What
that?
informs that?
What informs that?
Yeah.
Wabona. So they're going back and forth about this. Because the student is basically saying, now I'm saying that we just have it in us to be good.
Where
Just
it comes
so-
from, he doesn't.
He's saying he's playing around with the idea that it's not God.
Yeah.
Wabona. And right now I'm thinking about it. Honemi, if you look at Setswana culture, like if you know,
But
if we look at the Setswana culture,
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like our culture is deeply ingrained in fundamentals from the Bible.
Yeah.
Like respect, patience.
But before you go any further, I wanted to somewhat pose a somewhat contradictory statement to what the atheist in the video was saying. Alright. I don't know where I heard this or where I read it, but I just know it from somewhere. It was saying that, you know, since the fall of man, everyone who was born after that, by the time we were born, we're naturally inclined to sin, not to good, to sin. And our whole lives is us trying to prove that we can be good people.
Oh snap! It's then songs, but anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, I get you. You see, that's a good. It's a good thing that you brought that aspect. Yeah, the sin. Define sin.
Something that goes against what God says.
Yeah. Something that goes against religious conduct.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But if to put it in simple terms, it's good versus bad.
Exactly.
You know.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I think from what we just read, like, oh my goodness. It just connected. Bro.
It hasn't been connected. I'm cooking here, bro. But yeah.
I don't even need to explain it.
Enough has been said.
Enough has been said. Like you did say, like the scripture says it itself. We are at constant battle with either being a good person or being a bad person.
Yeah.
You know. Man, how did it are you talking about addiction?
Yeah, I mean, it still factors in addiction.
But actually, no.
'cause-
Addiction,
yeah.
it's here. I'll read it out.
Yeah.
Another point I was trying to make is that when I was ideating 7 degrees, my idea was that as a creative, honestly, you need to allow authority into your life. As a creative, the only way in which you can propel to an unfathomable level, for you to be able to get to a point where you are a unique creator and you are not a creative, not creator.
The top one, but
Yeah,
top
but-
two, but not two.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, wait.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, top 2.
Yeah.
But
But
is
not
one. Wait, no, what?
No. I get it.
Sharp, okay, sharp.
Yeah, let's
top
nice
2, but not 2.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
Where you're so unique that if somebody sees your design element, they're gonna be
No,
like,
yeah,
"That's come
nah.
over a bullet."
Zit.
I genuinely believe that the only way you can do that is if you involve the creator himself in your creative journey.
Yeah.
Man, on our way here with my brother, I was telling him about some prayer that I really loved and enjoyed hearing. I heard a lady praying and praising God's sense of humor, saying that God created monkeys and baboons. Like, think about it, bro. God created an ostrich, a bird that's so big that doesn't fly.
But it can fly. But it has wings. And
But it has
as well.
wings and it's
Everything to
violent.
fly, but it cannot
doesn't
fly.
fly.
All it does is run fast.
Correlate that. What I'm trying to say is the moment you allow God, the moment you incline to your spirit and not to your
Not
sinful
relying on
nature.
the physical sense only.
Yes, the moment you strive to have a good moral conduct is when now you start to become the best version of yourself. Flip.
Because even on that one, my dad said something to me while I was asking him some deep question while I was trying to figure out where I stand with God. And he was saying that he's also had the same question in his youth. And what he did, he and his friends did was they took it this way. They're like, okay, say for this scenario there is a God. And all my life I've been just killing myself, doing everything, all worldly stuff and everything. And then at the end of it all, I find out there is a God and I regret everything that I did. Because that's obviously going to happen. But would I like or would I be happy with the decisions I've made? That's what we know. And then, okay, let's reverse it now. Say there is no God and I live good. What would I have lost?
Neitak, you know what? You know what I like to attribute the presence of God to is how human beings have a collective conscience. Like, remember before we started setting up, you talked about, this is a leap of faith. Like, well, I'll ask you, what are you going to talk about? You say, no, I want to talk about a leap of faith. And I was like, my guy, if you just knew that is what season 1 is about.
Yeah.
Right now, you're telling me that story.
Yeah.
Similarly for me, I remember in high school, a friend of mine was telling me that a classmate of ours, he asked her, why do you believe in God? And she said to him, you know what? I would rather I live as if there's a God than to be surprised in the end
Yeah,
that he was there the whole time
Yeah, and I
I
chose-
chose not to
yeah.
believe in him.
Yeah.
You know, man, I have learned or realized that we all have this inner and deeper sense that there's something out there
Yeah.
that is cosmic, that is way beyond that we can comprehend.
For sure.
We just either choose to follow it or not to follow it. You know? And it's sad, man. It's sad. It's so sad the amount of lives that are going to be lost because they chose not to make a decision. God, I'm not even saying that we are better than anybody.
Hey, no, for
not
sure.
even saying that we are trying to sell religion to you. No. I'm just saying, try it out.
Taste and see.
Figure it out for yourself. You know,
It doesn't hurt to try.
it doesn't hurt to try, bro. It really doesn't hurt to try. And one thing that really showed it to me, once you detach yourself from God's word and you push the word of God the way it is, people appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
Even people who you never thought,
Yeah, for
this guy can actually. I don't know if I'll tell you off camera, but the most radical human being will tell you, hey man, I actually do think there's a God and I want to know more about that God. You know? So, amen. I just want to read the scripture, okay? And then we talk about creativity as we approach the close of the video.
Yeah.
Okay. From verse 18 to 21.
Of what?
Oh, Galatians 5. Galatians 5. My fault.
Yeah.
My fault. It reads, but when you are directed by the Spirit, you are not under obligation to the law of Moses. Oh, the law of Moses, 10 commandments, the 10 commandments.
Yeah.
When you follow the desires of your sinful nature, the results are very clear. Sexual immorality, impurity, lustful pleasures, idolatry, sorcery, hostility, quarreling, jealousy, outbursts of anger, selfish ambition, dissension, division, envy, drunkenness, wild parties, and other sins like these. Let me tell you again, as I have before, that anyone living that sort of life will not inherit the kingdom of God. You know what I like to say, bro? There's no way you can genuinely deny the Bible.
No, for sure.
Like, how is it that this ancient book, this book that was written, however,
Still applies
now,
now.
bro? Like,
And every day you find out something new.
every single day, my guy, people will tell you, hey, the Bible is fiction. Hey, I hate the Bible. The Bible has slavery inside. Hey.
And
you know what?
They don't know the Bible has all genres of movies inside. The greatest story ever told.
You know what? I want to say, now one thing I've realized about the Bible and the character of God is that I think the reason why everything has been included inside is to show the truthfulness of God.
Yeah.
God doesn't disclude.
English, Baba.
God doesn't leave out. God doesn't leave out the other things to make himself look good.
He's not portraying a false image.
He's not.
No false
He's saying-
advertisement.
he's telling you, my guy, I'm telling you about everything that's happening. And I'm
what
saying
has
there's
happened.
and
And
what
what
has
will
happened.
happen.
And what will happen.
All of it at the same time.
Omnipresence, Baba. His point is, I have something better for you.
Yeah.
You know,
Only if you want it.
only if you want. It's your choice. Nobody's forcing you, bro. And he's telling, God, if somebody can tell me a life that I'm living and I haven't, and I think that I'm hiding, who am I not to try it out?
Exactly.
Like, who am I not to move the other direction?
Yeah. Ne?
You know. Anyway, in ending of this segment, yeah, I can try to buy this. Yeah.
Try wow.
Galatians 5, verse 22 and 23. But the Holy Spirit produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against these things. You know what I hate?
What?
Hate is a strong word, but you know what I hate? I hate the fact that the world is pushing this narrative and this agenda that, yo man, let's be good people. You know, let's be kind, let's be patient. And they're not attributing it to the source.
They're claiming it's their own ideas.
They're claiming that it's their own idea. And man, that's the deceit of the devil. Honestly, like,
Now, for sure. That's what he masters. Counterfeit, my guy. Well, that's what the word deception means. Almost truth.
if I can open my mouth right now, my guy. But anyway, then let's just move into
The next
something a bit
segment.
less intense. But yeah, man, I honestly hope that, like, up to this point, somebody has gained value, somebody has gained insight.
And hopefully they've stuck around till this point. Because we're about to cook even further.
Yes, this is just episode 1, man.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, you know what I've learned. Now all I do is come, I speak, and I did.
For sure.
The moment you try and think, was it good, was it bad?
When you start overthinking it,
You
that's
start
where-
overthinking, you start opening a door for pride. Because you
Eh.
start trying to do the work of God, you start trying to move in the way of the Holy Spirit, you know. But anyway, like you said,
cook and finish.
exactly. I really hope that up to this point you have gained as much value as you can, you know. For somebody who doesn't know what 7 degrees is, 7 degrees,
Maybe they just joined in just
maybe you just joined in right now.
Quickly, let's skip 2 minutes so and so.
Minute, 1 hour, something. You know,
Yeah.
I've said it in the past episode, 7 in
That's
the
the
Bible.
episode, even though this is the first one.
Introduction episode.
Because this is the second time you're saying this.
Yes. I'm making reference.
Yeah.
The number 7 in the Bible is the number of completion.
Yeah.
You know, and degrees comes from the word greaser, and according to Google, a greaser is a radical youth. A greaser is a youth who lives the life that's described here, the life that is in the sinful nature, you know. And honestly, I'm gonna say this out loud, not as a hypocrite. It's a life that I've lived, a life where I was like, hey, nobody can tell me what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do me. You know,
And you find out, hey, you need someone
That's
to
not
tell
their
me what
life.
to do.
you know, but yes, a greaser is somebody who's a creative person. They dress distinctively. They are creative people. You know, so I want to pose this question to you, man. Like, what is a creative to you?
Hey, that's could be taken 2 ways. Could be taken quite literally or very philosophical, and I don't know which one to answer.
Both of them hit on both points.
Don't even have the knowledge to speak on the philosophical aspect of it. But
Say what you want to say.
a creative, I'd say, I don't know, just someone who's willing to break boundaries, who's willing to test certain waters to see what could come out of. You're not just willing to take the status quo, because I'm going to link this to something that I'm not. Okay, story for another day. But someone who's willing to not take the status quo as it is, who's willing to challenge the norms and everything. You're not willing to just take or settle for mediocrity, basically. You just want to try something new.
What's the other side? I agree. Said there's two descriptions.
Put all in one.
So what you're saying is a creative is somebody who challenges the status quo.
Yeah.
It's somebody who, and then what?
Who's not willing to settle for mediocrity.
For somebody, it's not somebody who wants to settle for normal.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking you that question is that it took long for me to realize that I'm a creative. You know, it took long for me to actually be comfortable with being a creative, especially as a Christian. You know, I have always battled with this thought, oh my goodness, what if God doesn't want me to be a creative? oh my goodness, what. And then also with addiction, I was like, oh, I always said, oh my God, how I wish I never was, how I wish I can erase this past, you know. But
it's a necessary step.
it's a necessary, not that it was,
not that we had to do it,
but I've gone through it and I'm on the other side, you know.
If you don't learn from it, I think there's a saying that a mistake is only a mistake if you don't learn from it. Yeah, I'm cooking, Baba.
It remains, it's how you see the L.
Yeah.
Are you a loser or are you a learner?
Yeah,
exactly. Did you lose or did you learn?
Yeah.
Because now what I was driving at though,
was that
to me, a creative. Hey, what is a creative? I've never asked what?
You're asking me questions you never asked yourself. Look at this.
A creative is somebody who's selfless. Like that's how I view being a creative. It's somebody who paves the way for other creatives to see that it's normal to be the person that you are. Because I'll tell you right now how my brain works. My brain works in reverse.
Straight.
Like,
give an example.
Like, flip. Like right now, I won't even lie. Like right now, man. I literally just wrote what I wrote. I get it to I wrote the script.
Yeah.
You see, I wrote the script. And then I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm not going to follow it the way I wrote it.
For sure.
You know. But I know that when I sit down to edit the video, it's going to tell a story.
Yeah.
You know, right now, the introduction of this video, we're going to shoot it after we shoot the video.
Exactly.
You know.
Correct.
My brain gets enticed by things. You see, and then that's when I explore them. I think, but that's a basic. It's being curious. It's being intrigued by things. You know, and it's just when you try them out. For me, the reason why I'm a creative is so that I can try things out and tell other people that, hey man, let's try it out too.
This way.
You know.
Yeah.
Right now, my biggest goal is to make it okay for Christians to make content like this, bro.
Total, it's been okay. God said you must be rich.
No, we're not going that way.
But just a sidebar.
Hey, you know one person who inspires me, man?
Yeah.
I have a friend, her name is Botutsie. She's doing something called
I saw it. I followed it. That thing is
fire,
fire for sure.
Nah, it's on next level.
It's next level.
Next
Top tier
bro.
stuff.
No.
No. She's
Jealous
cooking
now.
that side.
She's making tea, bro.
Bro.
Honey.
My guy.
Lemon.
Green tea, but
Hey.
but godly.
Cleansing your system.
My guy. I think green tea, that's what it's meant for.
That's what I'm saying. If
Exactly,
turn lemon into tea.
My
When
guy.
life gives you lemons, make tea. But oh man, you said a handful of things.
Yeah. But
Honestly, said a handful of things, and I think, like I'm saying, my hope for this, if you're at a point in business where you're telling yourself you want to quit, take one more step. Try it out again, man. I'm on my fourth
business.
business.
Hey.
And I'm still telling myself, hey,
Take
man,
it
this
steady.
one is taking us out the hood.
And I always like that, Mike. It's always like that.
You know, I'm telling myself, this one is taking us out the hood. You know, man, my journey is one journey that is... I come from a place where I've always tried things out with the little that I have.
Yeah.
Looking back to Free Laundry and Thread Talk, I used to sell fashion.
Yeah.
You know,
For those who didn't know.
for those who didn't know, as you can see, you're just...
Yeah. The boy is drapey.
It's just some clothes on me. I used to sell
Hey, look
fashion.
at him trying to be hung.
Wow. No, but one day I'm going to be selling t-shirts here, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Gotta make the bag.
Gotta make the bag somehow, Mike.
no, for me though, make the bag you put into the work continues.
sure.
But yeah, I used to sell fashion, man, and even then, you know, one thing that I want to talk about right now is the influence that we have. One thing that kind of man I've been in hiding for a year. I don't know if you know this.
Nah, it's good to hibernate sometimes.
I've been hibernating for 1 year, bro. Like, only now God is like, hey, my guy, now you can get
the
out.
light is here now.
The light is here. Now here's the way. But you know, like I'm saying, if you're at a point where you're saying you're gonna quit, be it business,
whatever,
school, whatever, or you're saying you want to quit addiction, it's possible, man.
Yeah.
You can quit addiction. You can be free, man. You can be free of that one thing that really has roped you in and you feel like you can't push out of it. You know, you can take one little step in business and learn to appreciate the little that you have. You know,
because also another thing when it comes to business is we tend to think we need $1 million to start a business.
or we want to define success with $1 million. But cook.
But that's not necessarily what I was saying, but I meant in the sense of starting the business. Say, you want to sell some things, and you think, oh, you need this much money to start this thing. But that's not really the case. A number of businesses and everything have started with the little that the founders had. Just if you can work with what you have, that's how you know you are a true entrepreneur or creative. That's what I think. My theory is still yet to be proven with my success.
The point is we're still young.
But yeah.
The point
We'll
is
get
we're
there.
honestly still young. We're still young, man. But one thing genuinely that I've realized is that you can inspire anyone, inspire what age you are. You know?
For sure.
I feel like there's so many things that we've said and we haven't touched on, but it's fine. It's fine, man.
The season is long, man.
The season is long. It's lifelong, in fact. This is
Exactly.
episode 1. We don't even have to talk too much about everything.
Yeah.
You know, this is just a taste of what's to come. If
Happy-
you're a creative, come and sit with us. You're a greaser.
Yeah.
If you're not a creative, come and sit with us. You're
Maybe
a
you'll
greaser.
become a
You know? Because the truth is, every human being is creative in their own aspect.
And there's on that note, there's one quote that I'd shared at some event a couple of months ago that it was from a book that I was reading or still reading now, well, rereading it, and it says, if you're not selling, you are not a part of this world.
Life's a pitch.
Life's a pitch, my guy.
Not that I've read it. Only because you always talk about it.
If you're not selling, you're not part of this world. And this statement or quote does not necessarily mean selling in the figurative of I'm selling this Vaseline for 20 pula or something. It in every moment of your life or aspect of your life, be it, say you are applying for a job, that is you selling yourself to your future employer that I can do this thing. You need to hire me for such and such a reason. If you are in the literal selling, yes, that's selling, and in every aspect, you are selling yourself. That
What you
means,
said.
we
you
are
said.
all entrepreneurs one way or the other.
No, we are. We are. Even like
business.
just by us sitting here, we're selling somebody our time.
Exactly.
You know.
Selling them this information or the idea of being a degreaser.
Oh. Actually, we're not greasers, we're degreasers because we're saying we don't want to be greasers. But we realize that I'm not cooking.
You bet the pot.
The pot. Man, I want to challenge you.
Yeah.
Go read on social entrepreneurship. That's how I see myself. I see myself as social entrepreneur. That's literally what I'm doing right now. I am putting myself out there and I'm saying, look, for the rest of my life, I mean, I used to be a capitalist. I used to be a capitalist. You know, I used to be like, hey man, we're making it out the hood. Everything is in my like, and I'm telling you, dog, the money used to come, bro. Like it used
And
to
still
come.
something was lacking.
Still something was lacking. And the sad part, Ibile, the funny thing is, I can't even look back and say, this is how much money I made, this is what it's done for me. And right now, with the little steps I've been taking, I can actually sit down and count and be like, oh, I can actually attest for this.
Yeah.
You know. So, like I'm saying, I want to challenge you. Go read on social entrepreneurship and learn more about it.
Nah, for sure. Next episode.
Learn more about social entrepreneurship. And if you've made it to this point, the time now is, or if you haven't told, while strong, independent young men here, we're shooting this for ourselves. Just the joke. If you've made it to this point, man, I just want to say thank you to you. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us.
And our time is one precious.
Yep. Time is precious, bro.
One precious thing that we can never get back. Once it's spent, it's gone. And sometimes we forget that thing.
Like I was saying, I just want you to know that I'm doing this out of love. I'm doing this out of love of the next human being, hoping that their life can change, that they can be freed from whatever shackles that they're going through, man. I'm one person who's been diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and I lived through it every single day, man. Just this morning, it was hard for me to wake up. Oh my goodness, bro. I can't even, but I'm here, and I'm sitting here, and I'm
You've managed to
shooting
push
this video.
through it.
I've managed to push through it, you know? I just want to let you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
For sure.
Like-
and I was discussing that very same statement with a friend recently. When they were saying they're going through a situation where they don't know if they can see the light. We took it as a very jokingly discussion, but nonetheless, we got to the nitty-gritties of finding out that although you might not necessarily see the light right now, all you need to do is see your next step.
Facts.
You just take that. If you see your next step, just take that.
Your word is a lamp unto my soul. What does it say?
I don't know it.
Your spirit's like water to my soul. Your word is a lamp unto my feet. Jesus, I love you. I love you. You don't know the song?
I don't know this song.
What? But yes, your word is a lamp unto my feet. It's from Psalms.
Yeah, a light unto my path.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all you need to do. You don't necessarily need to see the light at the end of the tunnel now. Just locate your next step.
Yeah,
As you
man.
can see the diagram that's behind us. You just a little shout out.
I didn't see this. What? But yeah, this is a big drop.
Yeah, for sure.
You're gonna do sci-fi now. I challenge somebody to figure this out.
Yeah, as to
To
what
figure out what it means. We'll try and zoom into it.
Yeah,
Whoever figures it out, they get our first piece of merch.
for sure.
First piece of
Collectible.
merchandise. Hey, this thing's going to turn into something.
HXH, man.
NFTs later.
Everybody. We are going to show you how it's done.
But yeah, man, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Stanbic Bank. Oh my
The
goodness.
big sponsors.
No, man. Stanbic Bank is doing a good. Honestly,
Now for sure. Definitely.
these are things we cannot take for granted, dog. Like just the fact that there's a place that I can go and shoot a video. That's really dope,
guy.
man. And I'm just so thankful. I'm really, 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 really thankful.
Prayer answered.
You know, answered prayer. Answered prayer, man. And you made me forget my train of thought. I was going to say something. Ish.
Yeah, we'll come back quick.
What was I going to say? It was like, this is the end of the video, man. Here's what I want to say.
Yeah.
I pray that every person who watched this episode, at least a seed of hope has been planted in your heart. And until the next episode, this is 7 Degrees, where the misunderstood understand each other.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
What a nice way to close it.